Far beyond the shining stars of the Milky Way, where light bends strange and colors dance in the dark, there lies a forgotten star system called Varnak. Varnak was once home to a great civilization, the Kelri, who ruled the cosmic seas with wisdom and power. But long ago, in a time lost to space and memory, the Kelri vanished, leaving behind ruins scattered like glowing jewels across the planets. Among these ruins, brave explorers told stories of strange artifacts, tools and machines from a war so old, even the stars themselves seemed to hide its secrets. But none was more curious than the silent gun. The silent gun was no ordinary weapon. It was said to be alive, to think, to choose its own fate. One chilly night, aboard the starship Voyager's Hope, a team of explorers hovered over the dusty moon Iraxis. The moon was cracked and lifeless, bathed in a pale purple light from its giant gas giant neighbor. Captain Mira, a fearless explorer with eyes like burning comets, led the team. Her heart beat fast with excitement and fear. They had come searching for the silent gun. "Keep your eyes open," Mira whispered to her crew. "The stories say it's not just metal. It listens. It waits." The surface of Iraxis was cold and silent, broken only by the faint hum of the ship. Suddenly, the youngest crew member, Tilo, spotted something half buried in the dust. A strange shape, black as the void, yet shining faintly with blue lines running like veins. It was the silent gun. As they lifted the weapon from the ground, the stars above flickered oddly, and the cold wind seemed to carry whispers from another time. The gun was smooth, shaped like a long starfish, with moving parts that glimmered like living eyes. When Mira held it, she felt a pulse like a heartbeat inside the metal. That night, under the swirling purple sky, the crew gathered around the glowing campfire. Mira told the story of the Kelri War, a war between stars where weapons like the silent gun could think and feel, designed not just to destroy but to survive and learn. Suddenly, the ship's instruments flickered. Strange lights danced across the horizon, like ghost ships or maybe living stars. The crew gasped as they saw shadowy shapes in the distance, moving too fast for the eye to follow. Were these remnants of the Kelri? Or something older? Something guarding the silent gun? The gun pulsed again in Myra's hands. It seemed to whisper secrets in a language made of light and sound, a language only the stars could understand. The explorers wondered, was the gun calling to its makers? Or warning them of a danger yet unseen? As the night deepened, the silent gun slowly opened, revealing a hidden chamber inside. From it came a soft glow, an ancient star map showing paths to lost worlds, to places where no human had ever flown. The explorers realized the gun was more than a weapon. It was a key to mysteries of the universe, a relic of a power far greater than anyone had guessed. But why had it waited for them? What did it want? Captain Mira looked up at the swirling stars and said, "This is only the beginning. The silent gun has chosen us. Our journey is not over, it has only just begun." And so, the legend of the weapon that thinks was reborn among the stars, whispered by travelers and dreamers, waiting for the day when its full story would unfold. A story of war, survival, and secrets hidden deep in the cosmic night. But for now, the silent gun lay silent once more, its secrets shimmering beneath the endless sky, as the explorers dared to ask, who truly holds the power, the wielder or the weapon? The stars above twinkled in answer, but their voices stayed a mystery. The crew of the Voyager's Hope had barely settled back into their ship when strange things began to happen. The silent gun, resting quietly in its special case, seemed to hum softly at times, like a heartbeat in the dark. And the stars outside their windows did not look the same. As they left the purple skies of Iraxis behind, Captain Mira noticed lights flickering in the vast emptiness of space. At first, they thought it was just space dust or distant suns twinkling far away. But the lights moved with purpose, weaving between star systems like shimmering fireflies. One night, the ship's sensors picked up an unknown signal, soft and strange, like a song carried on the wind of the cosmos. The signal pulsed in rhythms that matched the silent gun's faint hum. "We're not alone," whispered Tilo, staring wide-eyed at the glowing map the gun had revealed. "It's calling, or maybe answering." The crew gathered again around the holographic star map. The lines of light on the map flickered and shifted, showing hidden paths between stars no one had ever charted before. The map led to a place called the Shattered Nebula, a swirling cloud of cosmic dust where light and shadow tangled in endless dance. The Kelri, the lost builders of the silent gun, had vanished there. Or so the legend said. The journey to the Shattered Nebula was dangerous. Their ship passed through fields of glittering meteor storms and streams of energy that made their instruments flicker and glow. At one point, they were almost caught in a gravity whirlpool, a twisting dance of invisible forces that could have pulled them into the dark forever. But the silent gun seemed to guide them, pulsing with steady light and warmth. It was as if it wanted to lead them to its home, or to a secret long hidden beneath the cosmic dust. Finally, as they reached the edge of the shattered nebula, the crew saw the ruins of a great star city, half buried in swirling clouds of glowing gas. Towering spires of crystal and metal rose like frozen lightning, silent witnesses to a time when the Kelri ruled the skies. But the ruins were not empty. Strange creatures appeared, shadows of light and smoke with eyes like burning stars. They moved silently among the ruins, watching the explorers with ancient curiosity. Were they protectors of the silent gun? Spirits of the lost Kelri? Or something else? Something that had survived the war, waiting for a chance to awaken? Suddenly, the silent gun in Myra's hands flared with brilliant light. It spoke, not with words but with feelings and images. It showed them visions of the past, great battles fought across the stars, weapons that thought and felt, and a terrible choice made long ago. The gun had been created to end the war by understanding its enemies, to find peace in the chaos of destruction. But the Kelri disappeared, leaving the weapon alone in the dark. Now it had found new hands, new lives to protect or to test. The shadowy figures around them began to move closer, and the explorers felt the weight of a silent question hanging in the air. Would the silent gun bring salvation, or a new storm of cosmic fire? Captain Mira tightened her grip. "We came for answers," she said softly. "But it seems the universe has more questions for us." As the nebulous swirling lights wrapped around the ruins like a celestial cloak, the explorers prepared for what lay ahead, knowing that some legends never die, but only sleep, waiting for the stars to call them awake once more. The Voyager's hope drifted silently through the glowing mists of the shattered nebula. The ruins of the lost Kelri city stretched beneath them, towers of crystal sparkling faintly like stars caught in frozen time. Around them, the shadowy figures hovered, watching with eyes that burned like tiny suns. Captain Mira stood on the bridge, the silent gun resting heavy and warm in her hands. The weapon's pulse quickened, echoing the beating of her own heart. The air was thick with unspoken questions and a deep, ancient power. The gun's light flared, filling the room with shifting colors, blue, violet, and silver, painting strange symbols on the walls. Then, in a voice like a whisper carried on the solar wind, it spoke inside Myra's mind. "I was born of war to end war," it said. "I am memory and judgment, protector and destroyer. To wield me is to carry the fate of stars." The crew listened, breath caught between wonder and fear. The silent gun was no mere tool. It was a living legend, aware, thoughtful, burdened with a will of its own. Suddenly, the shadowy figures moved closer, revealing themselves. They were the last descendants of the Kelri, beings of light and energy shaped by the nebula's power. Their leader, a tall figure glowing with soft gold light, stepped forward. "You have awakened the weapon that thinks," she said. "We are its guardians. Long ago, the Kelri hid the gun here, hoping one day it would find those worthy enough to decide the future of the cosmos." Mira nodded slowly, feeling the weight of the moment. "We did not seek war, only answers. But now we must choose. Will this weapon be a shield for peace or a spark for destruction?" The silent gun pulsed fiercely. In its light, Mira saw visions of galaxies torn apart, worlds saved, and futures waiting to be born. The choice was not simple. Power like this could bring endless peace, or endless war. Then, in the deep silence, a soft voice came from Tilo, the youngest crew member. "Maybe the weapon doesn't want to decide alone. Maybe it wants us to teach it, what it means to be alive, to protect, to hope." The glowing leader smiled. "A wise thought. The weapon that thinks learns from those who hold it." Mira looked at her crew, brave souls from many worlds, united by curiosity and courage. Together they reached out and touched the silent gun. Its pulse slowed, settling into a steady beat. "Then we choose together," Mira said, "to carry this legend forward, not as masters but as friends. To protect the stars and all who live beneath their light." The shadows of the Kelri bowed in respect. The nebula's light shimmered like a promise. The silent gun, once a silent relic of war, became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of space, life could find new paths. As the Voyager's hope set course away from the shattered nebula, the explorers told their tale around glowing campfires on distant worlds. They spoke of the weapon that thinks, a legend alive and waiting for the next brave heart to listen. And so the story lives on, among the stars, whispered by cosmic winds, a folktale of mystery and wonder, reminding all who hear it that sometimes, the greatest power lies not in weapons, but in the choices we make. The silent gun sleeps for now, its secrets safe beneath the endless sky, waiting for the next chapter of the universe to be written. But who will find it next? And what will it ask of them? The stars keep their silence.